Ladies and gentlemen, live aus Düsseldorf, die Klitschko Show.
64 wins.
Oh, look at that right hand, and he's wobbling again.
53 knockouts.
Good one, 10, and down goes Williams.
By far the most dominant heavyweight champion of the last 20 years.
When I'll see David Haye in the ring on July 2nd.
The man who fights not for money, but simply for the glory and status as the #1 big man in the world of combat sports, Dr. SteelHammer Wladimir Klitschko.
So, on behalf of the boxing fans around the world, I'm officially calling you out to fight me.
Wladimir is back, and with more desire to retain his status as the champ than ever. But unfortunately, there's no easy way back for him, as now there's a new kid on the block, so vicious and bloodthirsty, he has managed to absolutely obliterate any man to ever stand in the ring against him.
And he's going hunting now.
The man some are saying will reign as the most dominant heavyweight champion to ever come off the British shores, AJ Anthony Joshua.
Trying to tag him back. But again, just too sharp and too powerful from Joshua, who's slicing him to ribbons here.
What you're seeing is the evolution of the next heavyweight champion in the world. I have no doubt this boy is going all the way.
Now, Anthony Joshua will fight Wladimir Klitschko in a heavyweight unification world title fight at Wembley Stadium on April the 29th in what is one of the most anticipated fights in world boxing.
Hey fight fans, welcome back to Boxing Legends TV. Today we'll be previewing the heavyweight showdown that is being branded as the biggest fight in British boxing history between Stone Cold KO artist Anthony Joshua and returning legend Wladimir Klitschko, who is nothing more than obsessed with regaining his crown as champion.
You should be probably crazy. You're 41, you're gonna be 41. You will fight a guy that is much younger and he's so strong and he's all in muscles and he's just so scary in a certain way. He knocked everybody out and you're underdog. What are you doing? I'm showing my face to the challenge. I love it, guys.
We will be taking an in-depth look at the mind games that have been played by both men and looking back at some of the major fights that led them to where they are today. We'll see if we can come up with a logical outcome to this highly anticipated bout.
I'm dealing with a top 5 heavyweight of all time. And tune in, because this is what people want to see.
Before we start, I just want to say a big thanks for all the support you guys showed me on my previous video. There were so many comments from boxing fans, MMA fans, and even non-fight fans that just enjoyed the format of the video and, of course, the beautiful fighting technique of Lomachenko. And to all those new subscribers I might have gained that are now watching this video and might be unaware of the fighters we're previewing here, all I can say is, you're in for a treat.
Getting the high guard up there as Joshua died. Oh, that right hand uppercut! Bang!
It was a good experience for him, great to be out in Wembley, and I believe in 2 or 3 years' time he'll be headlining here himself.
Both Joshua and Klitschko made their names in the boxing world as amateurs, as they exceeded expectations to become Olympic champions in the super heavyweight category.
Everything I gained from the Olympics is a positive experience. There's not one negative thing. It's made me tough, mentally stronger, and it's given me a great opportunity.
Joshua's road to gold came almost out of nowhere, considering he didn't start boxing until he was 18 years old. He was a naturally gifted sportsman, played football at a high level, and with the stamina and speed he possessed, could regularly run the 100 meter in less than 11 seconds.
We're going to finish off sparring, obviously the road running and conditioning, and just maintaining and staying injury-free.
However, boxing was his passion, and Anthony quickly rose through the ranks. Incredibly, within a few short years, Anthony defied the odds during the final round of the super heavyweight boxing final, where he turned around a 3-point deficit to claim the gold medal for Team Great Britain in the London 2012 Games. Wladimir's efforts came 18 years prior in the 1996 Atlanta Games, where he defeated Paella Wolfgram of Tonga by a 7-3 score to take top spot on the podium in a weight class that had only been in the game since 1984.
16 years ago now. Does it feel that
It's
long
been
ago?
16 years ago.
Does it make you feel old?
Just be careful, because it's still in pretty good shape, and you're not that far from me.
No, I'm not that big either.
Well, here he is at last, 14 months on from Olympic gold and super heavyweight. Here he is, the great new hope of British boxing.
Moving into the pro ranks, Joshua was signed by high-flying Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Sports, who at the time was rapidly rising as one of the lead promoters in world boxing. Joshua made his debut at the bottom of the undercard of the main event between Scott Quigg and Ioannis Salinas at the O2 Arena in London.
And Mike Middleton, and if you want to know who they are, he comes in with that unbeaten record of his. Good jabs. Joshua just teeing off with everything at the moment. And taking his time as well, not looking to just come out and blitz him, looking to pick his shots. There's another one of those right hands, and the jabs getting through, another one of those right hands. The legs are turning jelly, and he's ready to go already. There's another big shot, another couple more. He's still standing, but for how much longer? The legs are dipping again. He knows some tricks for a rookie. Well, what is keeping Leo up? He is getting tattooed here, and he has to go, and it's over. That's what the boss is about. He's destroyed a very brave opponent, and he hasn't broken a sweat.
A long, hard journey ahead, but you believe you can go all the way, don't you?
I'm not saying anything just yet.
Klitschko's debut went almost identically to Joshua's as he blew out Fabian Meza in devastating fashion in Hamburg, Germany, a country that he adopted as his second home and where he would fight most of the remainder of his contests.
Rechter Haken, ein Volltreffer, rein, aufpassen, Mundschutz auf.
This is the biggest fight in Britain this year, without any shadow of a doubt.
Heavyweights with a history, both can fight.
He and Joshua are on collision course.
Dylan White beat Anthony Joshua in the amateur ranks.
Forget boxing. I don't like this guy.
Who's Dylan White to me? Nobody.
What can you say about Anthony Joshua? Absolutely breathtaking stuff.
I'll fight anybody in the ring. I don't scared of nobody.
That is what the boss is about.
Joshua's first major test came on December 12, 2015 against bitter rival Dillian White. By that point, Joshua had gained the support of the British public and built up an impressive following by blowing out his previous 14 opponents in menacing style. In this fight, we see not only Joshua's skill tested in the ring, but his mental strength outside of it, as White, who was a tough guy from the rough streets of Brixton, London, pushed Anthony to the limits during the build-up to their fight, and even tried to fight him on the streets on multiple occasions.
I will fail you, trust me.
Who are you, a doctor?
Hang on. I earned my credit, unlike him.
Who's Dylan White to me? Nobody.
I heard you have nightmares about me at night. Do you want to do it now?
Talk too much.
You can finish your meat outside.
What a chump.
Let's have it.
Dylan's light work.
I don't need to shake his hand.
Be a man.
Their rivalry began when they met back in the amateur ranks right at the beginning of each fighter's career. White beat Joshua, knocking him down in the process and getting a unanimous decision. White was later banned from boxing for taking a banned substance, and Joshua felt that played a part in his defeat. Either way, there was certainly no love lost as they met years later in the pro ring, and AJ finally had his chance to put those demons to bed.
Trying to go Joshua. Joshua not taking the bait. Now it becomes very real indeed.
Obviously their own, but he got
him. Finally got him. Is this the breakthrough? White looking to hold on.
This time he is holding on like he did in round one.
Rocked by that big right hand. Joshua looking to size him up. There's a grin from White, but the legs are betraying him, and down he goes.
He's hurt. The way he went down.
Surely no way up here for Dylan White. It's stopped. It's over.
July 2nd, 2011 would be the date that many fight fans from around the world, and in the UK in particular, would be introduced to the now unified heavyweight champion of the world, Wladimir Klitschko, as he took on Britain's own David Haye in Hamburg, Germany.
Wladimir Klitschko has conned the public into thinking he's some sort of invincible force, and he is not.
The haymaker's coming for you, trust me.
Get in
you
the
can
line.
hide. Don't hide. Why are you running from?
line.
Don't hide. Come and fight. Don't hide. Come and fight.
For 3 years, the two fighters have circled each other, flirting, but flirting only, with their seemingly inevitable clash. And with time, the rhetoric from each side has cultivated a palpable animosity.
Yeah, he sucks. He's crap. This guy is going to be punished.
He's clearly a dickhead.
hasn't got a fucking clue what he's talking about.
You're going to eat your words,
David A.
You're gonna eat my fist.
He wants to be famous. He's desperate to be famous. He's a wannabe.
All the hype, all the talk, it all means nothing when Wladimir Klitschko is unconscious on the floor.
The build-up was of legendary status, as Hay tried his best to get into Vladimir's head to unsettle him for their bout. Unfortunately for the Haymaker, his outrageous attempts to try and annoy Klitschko only made him more determined to give him an ass-whooping.
Klitschko finally faced the brash, trash-talking David Hay in a heavily hyped showdown, outdoors in the wind and rain in Hamburg, Germany.
Good right hand by Hay.
He gets Hay against the ropes and lands a left and a right. First right hand thunder of the fight by Klitschko. As the fight went on, Hay became less and less competitive, began to look desperate. Hard right hand by Wladimir. Hay grabs him and then tries to hit him in the back of the head. Despite all the hype in the lead up to the fight, Hay was unable to turn in a competitive performance, and Klitschko was awarded a lopsided unanimous decision.
Joshua's world title shot would come in just his 16th fight, which ranks him among a small group of men who fought for the world title so quickly. He had to face the cocky, newly crowned American heavyweight Prince Charles Martin, who seemed incredibly confident traveling to the UK to take on Joshua in the first defense of his IBF title.
I'll be here April 9th to put on a show and show everybody why I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. Ain't nobody taking this from me. It's my baby.
After all the trash talking was done, the reality hit Martin pretty hard in the face in round 2 of the fight, as Joshua cleaned him out with a perfectly timed right hand to become the IBF champion of the world.
A minute 40 left in this second round, and he's down again. And Joshua on the brink here strolls into the corner as if to say, job done.
That was one for the fans. This was one for myself. I told you that I was going to come out and punish him. I'll show him levels. I told you I'll show him levels.
The most recent fight for Wladimir Klitschko came back in November 2015 when he lost for the first time in 10 years to the hand of the rising heavyweight contender Tyson Fury. The fight had a long build-up involving a lot of mind games from both men, but trying to unsettle the brash young Fury from Manchester, England was almost impossible.
Is there anybody here who doesn't think I'm putting Vlad into retirement?
The fight itself lacked in action as Fury moved around the ring, frustrating Klitschko as he jabbed himself to victory. Klitschko took his defeat like a man and vowed to come back stronger in their already signed rematch, but personal problems kept Fury from being able to defend his titles, which resulted in him being stripped of his crown, and the belts were pretty much handed out to the guys waiting in mandatory positions.
What would be your dream scenario?
Tyson Fury and David Hay at the same in the same ring at once.
Now I bet there are some of you guys watching this right now with your minds already made up. Surely there's only one winner here, right? Wladimir has been inactive from fighting for almost a year and a half, while the young lion from the UK has been knocking fools out left, right, and center. That is a pretty fair analogy, really, but you have to open your mind up and think about it a little bit more. Joshua, to this point, has only faced fringe contenders in the heavyweight division, despite being a champion. Klitschko, on the other hand, has seen it all before. Every size, shape, style, and personality has tried to beat him, with only one man having success. And Fury and Joshua are like chalk and cheese, completely different fighters with different elements to their game. Fury is a trash-talking, overconfident big man with a lot of skills. Joshua is relatively a humble guy that does his talking in the ring. But perhaps it was the talking that Fury did that helped him towards his victory. After all, it was pretty intense.
Wladimir, you're 40-year-old. How can you beat me, 27-year-old? You're getting knocked out, mate. I'm the man, I'm the king, you're going to sleep, you're a fool. I have been, an old man.
Ever since the announcement of the fight, the mind game started, but mostly from Klitschko's side. He has adopted a new key word for this fight, the word being obsessed.
I'm obsessed.
He has pretty much said it in every media interview since the fight was made, and shared it across his social media numerous times, alongside other little jabs at AJ. Joshua's response to it has been pretty minimal in terms of talking, but the sharing of intense training videos is enough to frighten even the most experienced fighting man. The two came head-to-head on Sky Sports' The Gloves Are Off, which aired just a few days ago, or if you're watching this video at a later date, about 2 weeks before the fight. The conversation seemed friendly for the most part, and people were even sharing memes of these two being in love, or in more technical terms, perhaps showing a bit too much respect to each other. But I gauged a different outlook from it. It almost seemed completely pre-planned from Klitschko's perspective, as he talked about his previous hard bouts during his reign, and mentioned the Samuel Peter fight in particular, where he was knocked down multiple times but came back to win. Perhaps he was letting Joshua know he'll be prepared to take his best shots and get up off the canvas if need be. Once the show finished, I think Klitschko came away happy with how it went overall, while Joshua seemed a tad shook up. But I could be wrong, and I'd be interested to hear the opinion from any of you viewers that may have seen the full show already. In conclusion to the video, I think it's only fair I give my prediction on the fight and the reasoning behind it. I think, actually, I haven't got a clue. I think I'll just read some of your guys' comments before making up my mind. Until next time, fight fans, this is Boxing Legends TV, signing off.